Okay, I have no idea whether this is working. I need to probably go to one of my sites and see if anything's happening. Oh, yeah, it is. Okay, cool. Let me know if you can hear me. I've set up the mic to come directly into the camera, so there shouldn't be any lag. I can see that there's lag between what I'm talking about and what you're seeing, but I don't want there to be any lag with my mouth moving and what you hear. So hopefully that's all good. Hi Karen, good morning from Cairns. I'm going to delete this once I've tested a few things. I just need to know how it works. One of the interesting things is that I'm now streaming on multiple platforms, so I'm not 100% sure how I see the comments from all the platforms, but on Facebooks. Thanks, Gary. In sync with your mouth. James, you can hear me. That's good. Thank you. And okay, let me try and have a look at my chat option. We're just going to open this up and see what we can see here. And I believe it's possible for me to see all chat. I'm not sure about Facebook, but the service that I'm using, I'm on YouTube, Twitter Live, which is Periscope, and what else am I on? YouTube. Oh, hello YouTube. Slight lip sync lag on YouTube. Looks great. Thank you. I've actually discovered that I have to run the mic, which goes into a preamp, directly into the camera, and then have the HDMI pull HDMI audio and HDMI video. Otherwise, there's a real lack of sync between the two. So there's a little tip for you. Facebook says all in sync. Karen Marie, my lag issue has gone. There's something at her end, whatever that means, I'm not sure. So I've got a few things to set up. I'm resetting up my Stream Deck. When this is turned on, there's a whole bunch of buttons, and I can play you video clips, and I can switch camera views, and I can easily press a button to screen share and mute, and I don't know. I haven't quite figured out exactly what I'm going to do yet. And I've got a green screen as well, which I'm going to set up. So today's more about finding out whether it did live stream to Twitter. And let me just go and check Twitter actually. That's a good idea. Make sure it's happening. Oh, and also LinkedIn. Because I've been unable to get LinkedIn live stream. I've had absolutely everything else. I'm not sure why. It could be because I turned off accepting new connections on LinkedIn. I think I got to 7,000 or 10,000, then turned it off. I just didn't want SEO experts and stuff trying to connect to me all the time. And there we go. Yes, I can see that Periscope is streaming me as well. The one thing I have a question about is how in focus am I? Because when I use the Camlink, which is a HDMI to USB 3, my Panasonic is super focused, and I'm using a USB 2 bobble. I don't know, what's the technical term? Video capture card, which by the way was $40, and this one is currently around $400. I didn't pay that, but it's gone through the roof since the whole Zoom thing's been happening. And so I sorry, I can hear myself in the background. It's a bit distracting. So I've been wondering what the quality is like, and I'm pretty sure the quality is not as good as it is with the Camlink. But then these are outrageously expensive. They're over 10 times as much. So I don't know. Am I in focus? Can you see me in focus? What else have we got going on? Let me just go back to the chat. Facebook is about 20 seconds behind YouTube. Griff, what are you doing watching me on 2 channels? I'm going to be doing this on a regular basis for social media news. So the next thing that I need to just test, and if you guys can help me, I thought Periscope died a terrible death as well, but if you can help me, I'm going to do a switch now to a screen. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, synced. And what you should see is me in the bottom left hand corner. I'll have a green screen so everything else behind me will vanish. And if you know how to fix this plant, it won't die. And I keep thinking, die, and then I can throw you away and give up on plants. But then I water it because I feel bad and it comes back to life. So it's not great. It's not flowering. It's not doing anything. And it's not dying. So, sorry, segue. So this is the screen share here. And what I want to be able to do is switch to things like Australian social media news, and then maybe have a live stream where we're checking the news together and we're discussing it. Priscilla says I'm fuzzy. Now, one of the things to remember is that you do have control over videos. So if you click the cog, the little settings cog on whatever platform you're on, you can change it to high resolution or lower resolution. You can say you're on a slow link or a fast one, and often how clear the video is under your control as well. So just remember that you can go to high def and you can choose other settings. Gary says, as sharp as streaming ever is. I know, and we're on NBN, so I'm not sure what's happening. Harlan on LinkedIn is having buffering issues. I just think LinkedIn is still in beta for this kind of thing. And good. Okay, so it looks as though LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter/Periscope are all streaming live. And I chose not to stream to Twitch because I'm pretty sure Twitch only want to see me playing World of Warcraft. They're not interested in anything else. So anyway, this is a news, what do you want to call it? A social media monitoring dashboard where I can check for news. And what I'd like to be able to do is make sure that it's nice and clear. So I've dropped the resolution of my screen down to 1280 by 720. And I'm just going to get rid of as much white space as possible. That's too much. The more white space there is, it just means that it's less clear for people. You don't want little blocks of text and lots of white space. You want less white space. So I'm going to click on an article, and a social media campaign erupted in 2016, but we have to visit the website, Canberra Times. A few hundred key people consisting of hackers, data scientists, lawyers, policy specialists, union members, artists and activists. They created a website called notmydebt.com.au, built by Lindsay Jackson. The hashtag RoboDebt was soon monikered by Ben Eltham and Belinda Barnett. Now, this is interesting because we've been having a discussion lately about whether rioting and violence is an important part of community rejecting a paradigm that they no longer subscribe to. So there's a social contract, that social contract's been broken, and then the feeling is if you just stand around peacefully waving a flag, then everybody goes, pats you on the head and says, well, we're the 1%, good luck with any change, see you later. And then how do you affect change without violence, without rioting? Now, this is something I have to remember. I have to transition back to ranty face. And however, this particular social media campaign of getting artists together and activists together and lawyers pushed robo-debt and the unfairness and the illegality of charging people for something that and insisting that they pay that they hadn't subscribed to. It affected change. Unfortunately, it only affects change while those in power are sensitive to it. So my feeling is in failed regimes, the guiding light, the guiding principles of the elite, if they are no longer listening, responsive or sensitive to the general population, then civil war ensues. In Australia, our politicians still want to be popular. They do believe in some way, I guess, that a vote matters. And so they responded to the robo-debt and Not My Debt social media campaign. And it allowed those campaigns to affect change. If you feel as though you're not being listened to and that these social media campaigns and peaceful marches in the street, and let's face it, there's been quite a lot in a number of countries for the last 3 to 4 years at least, from everything from the Me Too to other things. If there is still a feeling of no change, then anyway, turning off ranty face, moving back to the screen again. I'm going to have my Little Miss Princess coffee. So Priscilla said that she changed the stream to it worked at 360. Priscilla, are you on your phone? Could you let me know if you're on your phone or if you notoriously have crappy internet? Why do helicopters have to go overhead when I'm doing a live stream? I have no idea. Brendan has no sound at all. I don't know. Wait, human error. Okay, got that message. Thanks, Brendan, for letting me know. I just changed to my car and your video and audio are still in sync. Excellent. Thanks, Sharon on Facebook. Griff on YouTube. Gary has the best call on this. I was finding about a 19-second difference between YouTube and Periscope and then 1 second more between Periscope and Facebook. Okay, is there anything I can do about that? I don't think there is. I think that's to do with is it called RTMP, real-time blah, 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 something? Karen, crystal clear on LinkedIn, thank you. I have no idea how far LinkedIn is behind YouTube Periscope. So if YouTube is fast and then Facebook is behind that, I'm imagining LinkedIn is still in last week. I shouldn't be mean to them. Nikki's on her phone, but good internet, sounds fine, and they can't hear the helicopter, so that's awesome. Karen Marie, to stream to all the platforms, I'm using OBS Project, which is free software that allows me to set up clips and interstitials and lower thirds, which I'm not actually running at the moment, and green screens and things like that. And then I have a stream key to a service called Restream.io. And all that Restream.io does is I set up all the I set up all the platforms and the title and the description, you know, what I want Facebook to say or Twitter to say. And then when I hit streaming on OBS Project, it goes to Restreamio. Now, there is another piece of software which I looked at, which is also free, which I don't have on here. And I think it's called OBS StreamYard. And apparently it's OBS Project, but with a prettier, less techy interface, but slightly less features. The third option is to forget about OBS Project and OBS Stream and all these other free third-party tools. And in Restream.io, because I've got a paid version, I'm using Restream. I could use Restream Studio, which allows me to vision switch and screen share and turn cameras on and off and change mics and all those kind of things, which is a really long-winded way of saying that I spent such a lot of time researching how to do this, and then decided that all I had to actually do was just turn it on and start practicing and then see what worked, what didn't, how to do it better and learn by actually doing. So there you go. The sound goes off if you type. Now that's interesting. So what I need to do is turn off capture computer sounds or something. I will definitely do that. Andrew on LinkedIn is buffering like crazy now. I think you're going to find that's a LinkedIn issue. Andrew, I turned off the HD settings on Restream, and I took it down to 1280 by 720, which is what Restream recommended that I do. So I'm kind of hoping that that's correct. LinkedIn user doesn't have your name. On iPad in rural Victoria and all clear. Fantastic. Okay, so I will figure out how to stop streaming in a minute. I'm pretty sure I know, actually. Let me just go into OBS Project. And I will... What I think I'm going to have to do is... I don't know. I'm going to play this back. Now, one of the nice things with OBS Project is when you click Start Streaming, you can set the settings up so that it does a recording at the same time to your hard drive, and then you can watch the whole thing back and then go, why did I do that? Why did I look like that? Or whatever it is. So I know I've got to fix audio and lighting, and I've got to fix, quite a lot. However, this is my last test one in that sense. From now on, I'm just going to have to wear it and just go live. So if you would like new social media news, so I focus very much on really community management and how communities are working and integrating online and offline. So it's not purely how to do a Facebook ad. There's a lot more community management stuff. Then subscribe, because that's what I'll be talking about. If you're not into that, you don't have to. Secondly, I also work in the area of edu-social. So using education as a marketing and comms tool, as opposed to just coupon competition. So trying to bring an element of education into social media. So edu-social, from online courses that help small businesses, just trying to find tools that will help businesses work with their community rather than, dump advertising and promotions and competitions and coupons on the community, I guess. So if you're interested in that, follow me, subscribe. If none of that interests you, excellent. Enjoy your panda videos and news on whatever it is that's going on at the moment, and all those things are important. Probably panda videos more than anything else at the moment, because they do cheer you up. So, all right. Now we're going to turn this off. How do we do that? by the way, thank you so much for all the feedback. You guys are absolute troopers, and I am very appreciative, because if I do this and nobody looks at it, then I have no idea. And, you know, I'm lucky that I've got such great friends on the internet, because I know it's so hard for people starting out doing social media videos, whether it's recorded YouTube or live Facebook, and they have to learn by doing it, then playing it back and learning, whereas you guys were able to give me such great feedback from the get-go, and I don't have to discover something I've been doing is crappy 6 months later on, I guess. Anyway, thank you, darlings, and I will see you in the next one.